Dear viewers, welcome back to Sip and Chat. Today with me is Laat, the chairperson, the chairman of Brooklyn family, and this is part 2 of our interview. So, Mr. Chairman, you're welcome back to Sip and Chat.
Thank you, man. It's always a pleasure,
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Now take us to Bor.
Yeah.
The trip to Bor.
Trip to Bor.
Brooklyn family trip.
Yeah.
To Bor.
It was much anticipated because if you remember, Brooklyn, I remember the first game that we played, you were one of the participants that played.
Though you took only for 3 seconds.
You took only some few minutes and then you were almost dying because you don't practice.
It's been a while, bro.
Yeah. So what happened, there are legends from Bor. These all stars legend. And when we talk of all these legends, these are guys who played with football in Kakuma.
Yeah.
Who came to South Sudan and then people pursue different careers and all this. But at the end of the day, they collude and come together. They said, okay, we need to meet with these guys. We play them. We play.
So they are called Bor Legends.
Bor Legend, yeah. So they organized. The first time they came from Bor, they came and played with us. We also have other legends in Shirkat we play with. We also have team that we played with. So what they did, they dedicated their time and they came all the way from Bor.
To come and play with
Brooklyn family. The game in which you were just 3 minutes.
I was done.
So they came and played, and then they also requested us also to do a visit to go and play in Bor.
Courtesy visit.
Yeah, courtesy visit for us to go and also play with them so that because
they came and you have
exactly.
Also to go
so what we did, going from here to Bor, it also comes with a cost.
Yeah,
Brooklyn because. We have a squad of like almost 35 people, more than 35, but it depends with guys. It doesn't matter who's going to play. But as Brooklyn, when we said we're going for any kind of a function and we have to go.
Whoever is free will
also join. So we went to Bor. That's courtesy of almost like 35 members from Brooklyn that went. Also, the problem, you didn't show up the other time.
Yes,
you were supposed to be part
with
of.
Apologies by then.
Exactly. So you were supposed to join us. So we planned the trip, and then before going for that trip, you need to give. You need to give an appreciation where it has been due and all this kind of stuff. This courtesy of the trip to Bor, we appreciate one of a colleague and a member also who was from Kenya. We started the journey, he went do his own other things and came back. Simon Akwe,
yeah.
He really helped, and I want to appreciate. It's good for someone who is appreciated. You give him because we had a meeting with them and we talk about Brooklyn.
So Akwe is also a member of Brooklyn family.
Yeah, he's a member of Brooklyn. By default, he's a member of Brooklyn family. And for people like that, because these are
what did he do?
These are our elders. No, these are our elders in the industry.
Yeah.
The first thing that I want to put forward, is someone like someone
the fact that he supports.
Yeah. It's not even a fact of what he has given, but the advices that he has given and how he can want us to better ourselves. For this, if you get an opportunity to talk with someone who is big in the career or someone who is big in the industry, knowing what they want to do and all this, we benefit. And the first thing I want to appreciate him is the kind of wise word that he has given us based on how we can transform the whole Brooklyn idea, try to put it into entrepreneurial kind of stuff. But these are the things we need. Don't expect, because there are guys, there are these other guys who close their doors. When we want to meet them, they think you're going to ask for help.
You're going to beg for money.
Yeah, but no, sometimes you go for ideas. Yeah. You can sit with someone big like this. You're like, please, we know we like what you're doing, but how can you help us? Tell us how can we do this to make sure we reach to the level you're in? And this is one thing I need to put forward because we really appreciate, because we took like an hour when we're just doing discussion. So the discussion changed into lecture because he's someone who is ahead of us.
Yeah, he's well educated.
And all this. So we were there just taking note of how we want us to better ourselves. And I know from that day we had that meeting with them. Things change in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Though I will not talk about how he has come in and he said, yeah, what you guys are doing
I will
is good.
support. As also a default member.
Exactly. So he gave us some support, financial support of how we can.
But that's not very important.
That is not important.
The
most important thing that Brooklyn took, is the idea of, okay, you guys, how do you better yourself? What do you have to do? You do this and do this. Try this, A, B, C, and D. And those things change. They transform the whole kind of concept that we have as Brooklyn.
So when you were going to Bor, the trip to Bor,
yeah,
it was the courtesy of playing the game with the Bor Legends.
Exactly.
How did it go?
When we went to Bor, it was a courtesy of playing with Bor Legend. Yeah. From here, like I told you before, there are things that you can appreciate. Yeah. Though there are guys who always like, oh no, this government not doing all this. But what I want to put forward, you said before that maybe we have been sponsored or somewhere or trying to do this. The whole thing, that road we're using. If the road was not okay, do you think would have penetrated? We went with our own cars, our private cars. Yes, we didn't hire any car. But this thing was all successful because of the coordination we have and the smooth kind of service that the government has provided.
Yes.
That means you can go to Bor. If it wasn't for that, like for example, if you try to avoid the cost and all this, you can go to Bor, play and come back in the next day.
Yeah.
Or the same day you can go.
You play in the morning, come back in the evening.
And what attribute to this? And that's why we said, sometimes when we talk of you try to talk of things that are trying to change what is not happening right and all this, you don't look at the implication that will happen.
Yeah.
Like why I want to talk, I don't want to go to politics, but I'm talking about experience as a South Sudanese, because I'm a beneficiary of any kind of project that government is implementing. Who's going to benefit? The citizens. You know why I'm saying this? Because if you look, there are guys yapping on social media, "Hey, you know, hey, ARC corrupt, doing all this kind of stuff." But that road that you are using, have you find anyone that is saying that I don't want to use this road because it was constructed on a corrupt or whatever kind of? No. We are the direct beneficiary of this kind of things that are happening. And that's why I said before, we need to change the narrative of how we think. It doesn't matter. Whatever mess that is happening, leave it. Time will come when things will change. But can you appreciate the small that is being done for now?
And also you said, change is a process.
Exactly.
It
It
doesn't
takes
come
time.
at once.
And that's
so
why
the small change that you see, appreciate it.
exactly.
And
And
waiting
that's why,
for the big one.
And that's why when you say this, when we have this good roads connection, that means we'll quell out the insecurity.
Yeah.
Because the insecurity now is because we have these bad road or potholes, you slow down and all this. People will always have things to do. But if the road is smooth, you can come to Juba, do your business, go back. There are guys who bring their fish. At the end of the day, look at what positive thing the government can do for now. Don't look at what negative thing or what they should have not done for you. It takes time.
Now let's go back to the trip.
Yeah, the trip. The trip to Bor, we organized like I told you, and we were welcomed by the football
So
association.
you played how many games?
We played 2 games. We were welcomed.
Did you win both games or you lost?
I'm coming to that. Don't. Why are you just into winning or let me just
No,
talk
because
about how
that's
it
the
happened.
impact of the
It
trip.
will come. That one is coming. The impact of the trip will come after that. What I'm telling you is our trip, how we started here. Like I told you, we organized. And Brooklyn, like I told you, it's about empowerment. When we were doing the trip, we didn't say like, okay, we need to make sure at least we get some public means to move us. We have individuals.
We use our own cars.
And our own cars. And the first thing I need to appreciate from Brooklyn team members, for most of the cars that we use, individual, you remove your own car, you go service it, you fill it with your own money. You never say like, since we are going for the Brooklyn
you guys
trip,
must fuel
that Brooklyn has to fill this. No. Most of the guys that we went with their cars, you fill your own car, you service your own car.
By the way, today's tea is different from other teas.
No, this is
This is coffee.
This is not coffee.
Is what?
This is that tea. How they call it? It's called kushari. So the tea that I'm taking is kushari.
All right.
Yeah.
It's okay. Continue.
So, what happened? Most of our members they came with their own personal cars, and then we split like we distribute the guys into the cars.
Yeah.
Like we need to start our trip. The trip was successful. We went from here after Bor without any problem. We reached safely. And then from there, we were welcomed by the football association and also the legend and the teams.
Yeah.
When we talk about Brooklyn, what type of football we play now, it's not something like at the end of the day, okay, this is a professional kind of football. No, but it's something that bring people together. Showcase, bring people together. And at the end of the day, we try to change the mindset. We used to do this. Yeah. Because if you look, the football that we played in Kakuma,
it was
if there was support and all this, we'll have a lot of guys playing now.
Europe.
If you were born in Europe and you play, we played, by the way. No one can say that we never played this football. But time is going,
Yeah.
Time doesn't wait. It's not our time to play. So that's why we're like, this is the route.
Yeah.
And we need to keep, you need to be aligned to the route, and we need to keep the same spirit. And that's what happened. So we were welcomed by the teams in Bor. We went the same day. And then we had our good time. We looked for places where we can accommodate ourselves. We managed, we got all the accommodation. On Friday, that was on Friday when we went. In the evening, we had a game. The same legend, because the legend, both team, they split the legend into 2 teams. They said, okay, we're going to play the bigger game on a weekend. That is, it was on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then on
Friday evening.
On Friday evening, we had a match with them. We played. The game was well. We put most of our guys at the end of the day. Even if you remember, the football chairman of Bor, Bor Local Football Association, he was one of the goalkeepers from the side.
What is his name?
I don't remember the name. I'm sorry to say this, but the guys who they will put the name. He's the current footballer.
He was in Kakuma?
Yeah, the guy was in Kakuma. He was one of the goalkeepers.
Yes. I might know him. It's Chelly.
Not Chelly. Chelly was playing. There's another guy.
Okay. All right.
Used to be one of
his
the
name. It's okay.
So he was there, and then we played the first game. The first game we drew.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first game, and then now we planned for the second game.
That is the next day.
The next day. That was on Saturday in the evening. The second game was good. There were a lot of fans. There were a lot of guys. Also, we had time to go to the States, and then we were moving around because, as you know, Bor was devastated by the flood.
Yeah, sure.
And also, it's shocking sometimes if you look at how it has devastated the place, because the place almost like people, they're losing that morale, because if you have your own investment, you try to put in a place like this, and then floods comes and all this. So we told them, whatever happens, with you guys, because this is a natural kind of disaster, and we don't have control towards it. But what do we try to do to make sure we mitigate? These are things. So we told them, we are with you guys, and that's why we managed to come here. And as Brooklyn family, because it's not only ending to Bor, we might have time also when we go to other states.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you look now in all these other states, there are people who play soccer, and these are all legends, people who have played, but now they're aging, so they still have time to go and play.
Yeah.
we're doing this because why we do this is to make sure at least
to bring people together.
we bring ourselves together, and then once we come together, what message are we passing? We tell them, guys, this is not the end of everything. If you do not do this, what impact are you passing? Because the one thing that impressed me, because most of the guys that played and they didn't make it, they are nurturing the small talents.
Yeah. Sure.
And nowadays, football is being turned into business.
Yeah, it's commercial.
You nurture, it's commercialized. So you nurture these young talent, and then tomorrow, what would they become?
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
does it have link with our upbringing in Kakuma? Because I know when we grew up in Kakuma, the first unifying factor was football.
Yes.
Where we meet all of us in the evening.
Yes.
Regardless of our different backgrounds and
Yes,
everything.
it has a very good
Did
link.
it influence what we did in Bor?
It influenced very well. You know why it influenced? Because sometimes, if I take you to a story of like you and your son, you might want to achieve something like you want to be this,
And you didn't.
and then there are hindrances that blocked you. So the whole energy you try to put it to your son. You said, since I didn't make it, I'll have to make sure you have to do this.
Support
because
him too.
I would have, but because there are things that hinder me to do this,
Yeah.
so I will give you all the necessary support that you need to make sure you climb to
achieve
what I
that.
need. Yeah. So why I say this? Why it's influencing? Because if you look, for most of the guys, there are guys, very good guys, before us, there are guys who play.
Yeah.
Because you remember when in Kakuma, we have the ages. We have under 14, we have under 16, we have under 10, we have under 12.
And we passed through all these stages.
All the stages, yeah. So there are guys who play very good kind of football. If you imagine they were in Europe, they will have done that. So for you as individual and for us as Brooklyn, we say, since we play this kind of good football that you should have played maybe in one of the best team in Europe, and you didn't make it.
How about these young
Are you just
upcoming
going?
kids?
Yes. Are you just going to let it die, or you have to make sure at
Support
least you
someone
nurture,
too.
support them, let them? We have guys that are going.
Yeah.
And this is a project of Kakuma. And I don't want to talk about it, but there are people now who are going, they are trying their best, and they are going to play.
There's a guy called Dino.
This is what I'm talking about. Dino used
was
to be
a
one
young
of our
kid in
junior-
Kakuma. He was very young.
Very young. He used
Now
to play in
he's
that
making me proud.
Exactly.
Dino is
because
doing good, even
what
playing
is
in our national team
and
by then.
if you find him playing like that, and for you, what impact is it giving you? You'll be very
It's pride,
happy.
I'll be happy.
Because you're like, these boys, they were playing, and
We used
for
to
the
coach
fact-
him, we used to
for-
build him.
For the fact that we didn't make it, where has it gone to now? It will make you proud.
Yeah.
That's the narrative we try to push. The reason we play football, we're trying to tell this young generation. During our time, there were all this kind of stuff, and you could not have the link, all the support you need, so you climb to the. For these guys that have, what impact are you putting on them? For the kids that were there, they were very happy. We told them, football, during our time, it never pays. But for now, if you play well, you get connection. You go play. You play in Europe and all this kind of stuff. So when we said, when we went to Bor, we play as legend. The message we're passing out is like, we need to tell this upcoming generation that the future is always clear.
Yeah.
You play well, you'll get connection. You'll go and play. You can represent
it's
the whole
possible.
nation, and you represent the whole nation. If you look at the changes that are happening in our football association today, there are changes and there are leagues.
So did you win the second game?
The second game,
Or did you lose?
I would say it was a draw. You know why I would say it was a draw? Because the guys in Bor, we had a goal that was disqualified. They said it wasn't a goal, but it was a clear goal. Because they said they cannot come and then they goal.
And what did the referee, what was the judgment of the referee?
The judgment of the referee is that it was an offside and we lost.
Okay.
Yeah, so unfortunately we lost.
Okay.
But losing, what does
It's not important.
Yes.
The most important thing is the objective of
We
why
lost.
the...
But the FA, the chairman himself of Bor Football Association, after we were done with the game, we had some small press briefing. He came and he told us, guys, it's a draw.
Okay.
So for us, we went there, we lost.
We took that.
Yeah, for guys, even the fans that were in the field,
viewing the game.
They were like, you guys, these guys they didn't do a very good kind of refereeing. You guys, this should have been a goal. So we know that you guys have drew because they came and scored after they disqualified our goal.
Okay.
Yeah, they disallowed the goal and that's what happened. So we lost the second
Who
game.
scored the disqualified goal among us?
It's Baboya. You know Baboya. Baboya used to play with us. He played in Kakuma 3.
I know him.
Baboya, if these are the people who were saying, like if we were at the atmosphere of Europe and all this, Baboya would be playing in these big clubs. Yeah. But the reason we're doing this is like he's trying to tell the talent that this talent motivate someone who is coming and like tomorrow will change the narrative. So this is what happened. The trip to Bor was successful. We came back, all of us who were intact, and we were welcome in a very good way, and we appreciate. We told them it's a matter of time, but we'll also plan to come. So we still have other plans because
what are other plans? Let's go to that.
It's not only coming to Bor. Like the football kind of stuff is only a thing that will get us together.
Yeah, it's a unifying factor.
So when we do it, we're trying to look at other states. But the problem, like I told you before, if you look at the road, insecurity and roads, this is what we block. But for what happened, if just imagine now, just put yourself in that picture of imagining, if all the connection of the state were like this one of Bor, do you think what is going to block you from going?
No.
You go from here, you go play in Torit. There are legends in Torit who played.
Yeah.
Guys who have played football, but now they're aging, but they still play. What is going to block us? You want to go to Leegod State. What will block you if the road is okay? You want to go to Yei. What will block you? So that's why I was telling you. You know, the small thing that we ignore, but we don't look at the bigger impact.
Yeah.
Because when these things are being, we just give them the support, let them do what they can for this time. We'll be moving. And when you move.
Now, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
You went to Bor, it was successful. I was not there.
Yeah.
With apologies.
Yeah.
And I was happy. I was following on WhatsApp.
Exactly.
We have our group where we see everything.
Exactly.
It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Now, when you came back from Bor, there's one thing it's like an activity that happens. Or it's like a culture in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Whereby every evening, you see our WhatsApp message that you guys, there's food.
Yeah.
Whoever is around, come and eat.
Yeah.
How did that start? And okay, it's good because I think that sometimes you might not be able to make a meal a day.
Yeah.
But at least if that call comes up, you'll be able to pass by Brooklyn and have a meal.
Exactly.
And take some water and move on to wherever you're going to sleep.
Like I told you before, you know, for Brooklyn, these are youth that are coming with common ideology. And like I said,
Who cooks that food?
we have people who cook. There are people who cook for Brooklyn.
Who are they? So that also we can appreciate.
Yeah,
them.
we have one woman who cooks. She sells tea and all this.
She's a Brooklyn mother.
She's a Brooklyn mother. So what happens? You know, Brooklyn, like sometimes we have all our kind of festivities. Like for you today, if you're happy, maybe there's something good that happened. We said, guys, I want us to come together. We do this. You know, sometimes we get goats, we slaughter. We come together. But the whole narrative is not about just eating the food and then having fun.
It's coming together.
Yes, when we come together, there are things we pass by. You know, we have in our group, you know, there are a lot of job advert that we posted.
Yeah.
If there's any kind of job advert that is coming and we know we have people that are qualified that can go for this, we post in the group. They said, guys, this is what is happening, how we try to do this. In Brooklyn, we have people that we have empowered. Like there are guys now who were just at our yard where we sit. You know, there's a car wash bay, and there's someone that we have empowered.
And he's doing that, and he's benefiting from it.
In a day, like you can wash like 10 to 15 cars.
Even including Brooklyn cars.
Yes, because you come with your car. My car is dirty, and I just drive to him and I'm like, this car needs to be cleaned. You always get paid. And this is the empowerment we're talking of. Because
So how many members are in Brooklyn?
Brooklyn is full. We have almost like 60 members. Approximately, we have
And it's
60.
open.
And it's open. Like we say,
What are the qualifications to be a Brooklyn family member?
the qualification, they are very easy. If you inscribe to our ethics and code of conduct and the ideology, if you have the same common ideology,
If you embrace the ideology.
if you are coming, you embrace the ideology, you said, okay, what I need to better. You need to better yourself. You need to better others. How do you do that?
Empowerment.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I give you something today. It's like, this, you go do this. We have guys in Brooklyn now. They came, and we tell them, no, this is what you need to do. It doesn't matter what it takes, but please, this is you go for it.
Yeah.
And we have guys that are working now.
Good.
And at the end of the day, when they start working, what impact are they giving out there? It's
Good.
very huge. It's very great. And that's why I said before, we have a lot of guys that were in Brooklyn. And for us, what we need to do, we have two narratives that we need to change. You know, as youth of today, we have a scenario that, you know, we are being mentally enslaved. To make sure at least you just believe on someone that will give you something to eat for a day.
Yeah.
And do you expect they are going to feed you for the rest of your life? No.
No.
It's not about taking you to a bar. I said, okay, say, my
Let's
friend,
go and
how are you?
drink.
Let's go drink. I
then-
buy you drinks. But tomorrow, I have an opportunity that's coming and I block you from it. So what we need to change, like what is happening, and
It's to
this
empower
thing
people to
is embedded on the
take charge of their
mentality
lives.
of youth, and this is what we need to change. You know, it's a long-term plan. There are guys who just try to put you there, like they give you small things just to keep you there next to them.
Yeah.
But they
But
don't
not
want to leave.
progressing.
They don't
No
want to leave
progress.
you so that you go and do yourself, you progress. Brooklyn, we believe in. I cannot be happy today, like saying, now you're doing your thing and you're doing some other stuff. I'm happy, but I can't be like I keep you in Brooklyn and like every time you come, okay, this is what I've done. If there's a kind of a job that is there and we know you can do it, we have to push for you. You say, no, bro, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
And you need to go for it.
Yeah.
You go for it tomorrow. It doesn't matter what you bring to Brooklyn, but what impact are you giving out there?
Sure.
So that's why I said before, you know, Brooklyn is about changing of the whole narrative, the mentality of the youth. Changing the mentality. I cannot come to you today, you give me something, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is what is happening. There are guys now we chill with, but they look at it like we're competing. We're not competing, man. We're youth who came together, we're trying to better ourselves.
Exactly.
We're not competing between ourselves. Because Sijin today, if you walk in, the other person is working, and there's maybe something we need to do for a colleague,
You can do it easily.
you will come with
Can
your
join
resources and
hands
like, this is what we need to do. Is it bad?
It's not.
This is what we need to change, because at the end of the day, it's not about just keeping people there and be like, okay, today you come, I buy people this, I buy you drinks and all this. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Empower you. What can you bring on the table? I need to empower you so that tomorrow when there's something coming, you put something on the table. Me, I bring and put something what I have on the table. And when we try to we put them together, what impact are we passing out? This is
Great
the whole
impact.
narrative we need to change on Brooklyn.
Now, as the chairman of Brooklyn family,
Yeah.
what's your advice to all the Brooklyn members and the wannabe members outside there?
I will-
Because I'm here, of course, and we have other members who are outside there.
Yeah.
What's
No,
your advice?
what I will try to put forward as Brooklyn members, I don't know much about advice because most of Brooklyn members, they know what are our inscribed codes and ethics and what do you need to do. The advice that I will give them, it's about, you know, what can you do to make sure you better your life? It doesn't matter what you need to do. Like for us here, if we have a space, like even in that washing bay, sometimes the guy is not there. And for me, I know this thing can bring money.
Yeah.
Let's kill the pride, man. Leave the pride of like, I cannot do this kind of a job and all this. Leave that thing.
Do anything to get money.
What does it get on the table?
Get
This
money.
is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Even if you want to go lay bricks. And like I told you, no, I have not been given that mandate to talk about what we have cooking. We have a lot of stuff. But the advice that I need to give to the people out there, all this kind of stuff, you find the negativities, all this kind of, it's about you not trying to push yourself on what you need to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what someone will do, but today, wake up today, you wake up, you're like, this is what I need to do. It doesn't matter what I go through to make sure I get it.
Yeah.
You will, your whole energy will be focused on what you need to do.
Yeah.
And just a dream, a dream, you cannot come with a dream and you say every time, like for guys who go to church, they think, okay, God is going to throw $1 million for you to start this. It never work like that. You start with one step. What step have you taken? And this is what we need to do. As Brooklyn, like you, today you want to start this kind of bricklaying business. Yeah. What step have you taken? Have you identified a place? Identify. And you go for it. Yeah. So the whole narrative we need to do here, let's leave this mental illusion of like things happening abruptly and all this kind of stuff. No. There's nothing for free on this world.
Yeah. Everything is planned, my friend.
Exactly. So as youth, the advice we're giving out there, we're trying to tell them, whatever you need to do, forget all the
Go for it.
Go for it. Yep. It doesn't matter what you have to go through. But at the end of the day, go for it. The integrity that you're going to keep later on, it will tell.
Okay. As a child of the revolution,
yeah,
to where you are today,
yeah,
what do you think that can improve the lives of youth in this country? Like I know, we've said a lot of things on Brooklyn objectives and plans and all that.
Yeah.
But we have youth that are not part of Brooklyn, that will not be part of Brooklyn across the country.
Yeah.
How do you think that youth can be improved? Like maybe we have our leaders outside there who are listening.
Yeah.
On behalf of youth, what can we do better, or what can our institutions do to empower the youth?
Let me tell you one thing, Sijin. When we talk of as a child of revolution and all this kind of stuff, you know very well. You and I know when we were there. There's this narrative. There are guys who join Scout. You remember the guys who know this UN organization. They come with this kind of stuff like we are the future leaders of tomorrow. Like the question I will pose to you, I'm not going to answer, but I will put it like a kind of a question. You have been told several times that you're going to be the future leader of tomorrow. Now, if you look at yourself, your current self, where you are, do you and the leadership, you look close like you're going to be somewhere there? It's not going to happen.
No, and tomorrow is not coming. And we're getting older.
The advice we need to give to youth: don't wait. People telling you that these are the future we have.
Start leading. Start from your life.
It's about changing your own life. Yeah. Leave this kind of narrative of being told, okay, you are going to be the future. Future is not coming. And let me tell you, people used to believe, like I'm telling you, I've learned from this because after we just graduated, they tell you like, when you're going back to South Sudan, you are the only people that who are going to change the whole nation and all this. Man, things are different. If you look now, all the ministries, the same leaders that were there, our grandfathers, they're still there. And you are still, you're just telling you that you're the leader of tomorrow. Yes, you are just waiting, thinking that there's someone who is coming to say that my time is coming. I've been promised I'm going to be the leader of tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. It's what are you trying to do to make sure you change the life? And if you look, there are most of the youth now that are doing well. They didn't wait to be told like, okay, these are the future leaders. And let me tell you one thing. In every kind of a community or every kind of institution that you're in, when you make your own money, they will come and look for you, and they tell you, man, this is the position that we need to give you based on the money that you have. And if you look, go to a kind of family scenarios. If you are the breadwinner of the family, your opinion always matters. Yeah. But for you, if you don't bring something, you don't add anything onto that family.
No matter how good your opinion is.
No matter how good, they will tell you, man, what are you doing?
Shut up.
We cannot. You just keep quiet. Let this other one, let him speak. So, as individual, and what I should tell you out there, if you think that you are going to wait that the future will come and just take you by surprise that this is your time you have come, it's not going to happen. So what happens if you try to look at this? You go at community functions now. People with money, they're the one who are given podium. They like, if this guy doesn't come, we are going to do this meeting unless he first arrive. Yeah. And when he arrives, no matter how young he is, but he's having money, there are people who will arise for him. Definitely. But as a youth, you need to ask yourself, what impact are you doing for your own self? Are you going to wait for that future you are promised? Or you have to start chasing the future? Excellent. So what we need to do as youth, you start chase that future. And I'm very proud because we have a lot of youth now. They forgot all this kind of stuff, but they are chasing their own future. So the battle here is not about competition, but it's about bettering yourself. Yeah. If I look at someone now who is doing better, someone is driving a nice car, the battle he's doing is trying to fight the poverty. He's not battling me. Because you find a scenario where we compare ourselves like, this guy, what does he have? What has he done? That one will not lead us anywhere. Never. Make sure if you're doing better, what kind of positive impact am I going to take on whatever good job that you are doing? You are doing better. Like, okay, yes, but I need to be like him. What do I need to do? If he can do it, why can't I? This is the thing we need to change.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the only narrative we need to change. We should not let ourselves be mentally enslaved into this kind of scenario. You are given pittance today, they're like, okay, this is what will happen. Today you go spend them, they finish, you come back, you're like, you know, last time you came with this and all this. No. What can you do to make sure you
land
better
of
your
fish,
life? And that's what we do. And that's why, like, as Brooklyn family, that's what we do. We're like, today we stay. Like that place we're in, Brooklyn will always remain Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Today your life start changing and you do something good, you will still come back.
Yeah.
You come back, and what we need there is the opinion. It's not about like place where people sleep and like, okay, you wake up in the morning, we sit there. No. What we need a lot of guys. Today we look at our standard, we're like, how many people are working? If you try to do your best, if there's any kind of, we know we don't want to this kind of, like you try to slot someone in based on qualification and all this. If you're not qualified, we advise you, okay, get all the required qualification.
Yeah.
What matters, all people who have not completed, you're like, man, for you to make it, please, go back to school. And if we give you that challenge of going back to school, it doesn't matter where you're going to get the money, but go back to school. Tomorrow, you never know. So we don't have this kind of favoritism like, okay, I will keep you, I will try to slot, I have and my uncle. No, we need to change that. We don't deal with uncle, bro. We deal with our own self. Your uncle or whoever, we don't mind about your uncle. We mind about what are you doing to better your life, and what do you do to make sure at least you achieve that future or whatever goal that you have started.
Okay. Now, what's your advice to our elders who keep referring to us as leaders of tomorrow? What do you tell them?
Bro, let me tell you. The only advice I can give, I will not talk about the advice, but you know the natural selection course. Yeah, because these leaders that we have, they are not quitting and they are not leaving anytime soon.
So nature will deal.
Nature is going to take its own course. That's what we need to do. Because let me tell you, if you look, let me tell you, I will bring.
So
a
no
scenario.
government, only nature will work.
Yes, like I said before, I don't want to dwell much into politics. You know.
Yeah.
Because if you look at our education sector now, if you go to the ministry, man, you find these are all aging. These are aging guys. Someone who just even to read, you start sleeping and all this. The question you need to ask yourself, you know, the education, these are the pillars of how you build the country.
Yeah.
And that's why now, if you look at all, we always talk of economy and all this kind of economy. Economy, what does it attribute to? It's about controlling your economies of scale. Exactly. You control your land, your labor, and entrepreneurship. I don't want to talk about South Sudan, like I said, I don't want to go to that.
Don't go there.
Yes,
don't go there.
And that's why I tell you, for us to change that, it's about the nature take its own course. Because you graduate, and we have what we call a epistemic assumption. Epistemic assumption, you find, you are not well versed in this kind of a career in which you can make decision of. But you find, someone who just, you assume. Like Sajin, if I tell you, based on your career, you find someone who did health.
Yeah.
He's coming to be the one making decision for something to do with education.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. So we need to stop this epistemic assumption kind of stuff. And that's why, let people who are well versed in that field, let them do best what they can do to make sure they change that.
Okay.
And that's why I said, the only thing we need to do is we leave the nature take its own course. Because if you try to make sure that you want to change them by this and this,
nature has started.
Exactly.
Nature has started, so it's working.
Exactly.
Nature is working.
Yeah. And also, because one thing we need to stop as South Sudanese. If, for example, now, if there's a recommendation that is being given to me, like someone is recommending me a family and all this, and they are taking me to electrical kind of stuff, I know I did not do electricity.
So why should I take it?
Why do you have to go there? But you find someone who is like, yes, I will go. Yes, I do this. But at the end of the day, it's not your
gamble with it, and that's it.
Don't do that. If you, Sijin, I'm telling you today, you give me a kind of a joke that's something to do with health, which I know I'm not well versed in that. I'll tell you, bro, I cannot do this.
Yeah,
why can you look for someone who is, someone who, but for us, we keep assuming that. We need to stop that.
Yeah.
At least go in, your talent, where your talent is and what you have studied and all this. You know that you can make changes there. This is what you go for. But if you are blocked, some changes will not come.
Okay. My last question, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. I want to challenge you.
Okay.
And my challenge, I will have two challenges, by the way. The first one,
yeah,
I want you to mention 3 things that people don't know about you.
Yeah.
And don't focus on good things alone. It can be anything. It can be a weakness, it can be something good, it can be anything.
Yeah.
So tell us 3 things that people outside there, even some of your friends, even some Brooklyn family members, do not know about Laat.
3 things that they don't know about me.
Yes.
First thing, I'm too emotional.
Too emotional.
Sometimes if you find me, like, you will piss me off, there's something, I'll just go to my room. When I'm alone, I will start crying.
What?
They don't know about me. They don't know that about me.
I didn't even know that.
I'm emotional.
That's
one thing. Number 2 thing. For me, I keep things in my heart. It's one thing most of the guys don't know.
You keep things in your heart?
I keep things in my heart.
Good things or bad things?
Good things. I don't mind about negative energy, man. Fuck it. I don't deal with that.
So you keep good things in your
Good
heart.
things in my heart.
Okay.
Like even if like there's something that you have impacted and you know you have did this thing good. You know,
Yeah,
the only
you
thing
keep
that
it with you.
I keep it with me. And I know the only thing that I wait is like I wish there's a day will come
So that I can appreciate this
where
by
I
doing
can appreciate
something.
by doing something. This is what I
Not
keep
by
in
saying
my-
it.
Exactly.
Not by praising someone.
No, I don't do that.
Mhm.
So I keep them in my heart.
That is 2.
Number 2.
3. The third, the last one.
The last one. The last one that they don't.
You're talking.
Let me not talk about
Funny
last
thing
one.
here, people-
Why are you
people
pushing
talk
for the
about
last one?
good things,
I've
good
talked-
things all the time.
I've talked
No,
about
no.
I've talked about the 2 things. You want to know about the last thing,
Yes.
but the last thing everyone knows about that.
What is that?
They know about that.
What is that?
You know, I don't like looking upon people. You don't look down on someone, and most of the guys know. So it's not something that
Everyone is
someone can
important
do.
in his or
Man,
her
let
own
me
way.
tell you, I don't care. You have bunch of money and you won't try to intrigue into someone self-esteem. I will not support that.
Good.
We know because it doesn't matter where you come from. We are all living things, man. You live here. It's about living. It doesn't matter whatever thing that you have, whatever wealth and all this.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the last challenge. Were you here during our independence?
You know, independent. No, I was not here. I was in Nairobi.
But you came.
I
How
came
did you
after.
feel when we got our independence? How did it make you feel?
By the way, let me tell you, that's one of, if I tell you now, and like I said before, Sejin, you know, when you talk about this thing to me, you take me to politics, and I don't want to talk about politics.
Okay.
Because
All right,
if
let's
I
leave
tell
politics.
you, if I tell you, let me tell you one thing. If the one thing that make me
That
happy
day
about
was
the independence,
it was
let
a
me
very
tell you,
ceremonial day.
that
It was
was
a
the
good
only
day.
day. That was the only day that I knew South Sudanese are united. This is the only thing I can
Keep
tell
it
you.
there.
Yeah.
That's
During our
okay.
independence, I knew South Sudanese are united.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing that symbolized our independence was
Yeah.
our national anthem.
Yeah.
National what?
Anthem.
Do you know how to sing our
Yes.
national anthem?
Oh God.
No,
we
do
praise
this,
and
bro. Do this.
glorify.
No.
I don't do that because
Ah,
you know
no,
why?
it's a
Why I don't do that?
it's a
Because
symbol
for
of
me,
respect, man.
For me, I used to be in the choir, and you know the
So
choir
you will
masters.
do the choir thing.
Oh God.
Okay, no, you start.
Yeah.
Start.
I don't want.
One.
No, is it a challenge for me to sing the whole Lord?
Yes.
I don't want to sing. Why do I have to sing that?
Then you don't know the anthem.
I know it.
Then sing it.
I know it. Man, don't try to do the other challenge that you did. But I know I can sing that from A to Z.
Okay.
Oh God, we praise and glorify for your grace.
And South Sudan,
That's it. What else do you want?
the land of
Great
great
abundance,
uphold
uphold us united in peace and
harmony.
harmony. That's it, man. What do you want?
You are done?
I'm done.
I thought we were moving forward.
We can move forward, but
No,
I
no,
know
it's
today,
okay, it's
why do we
okay.
have to complete that? I know.
No, that's good. It's good that you know.
Yeah,
In our next videos, we'll be having a challenge of singing our national anthem.
yeah.
You stand up, raise
Yeah.
your chest.
I can do that 100%.
Put your thumb,
I'm
your
telling
hand
you.
on your chest
Because let me tell
and
you,
sing it.
Let me tell you, this nation that we have is the nation that I hold in my heart. And let me tell you, if you look, you have been in other countries, and I know at some moment you might feel bad about what they tell you and all this kind
Yes,
of stuff.
yeah.
And for me, you know, there's nothing that is like your nation.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing that is like your nation, because when you come, you have a nation. As a citizen, you have every right of what you can do in your nation.
Uh-huh.
Bro, let me tell you one thing.
That's sure.
Let me tell you one thing. I have a scenario where you find like they tell you, okay, bro, you don't need to do this kind of stuff. This is not your country. And where you find like you are infringed from
Go
your
back
right
to your
as a
country.
citizen.
Enda kwenu.
And let me tell you, there's nothing like your nation, because this is South Sudan. Sitting today, even if you start sleeping on the road, it's your nation.
Yeah.
So what impact? What do we need to do? We need to keep our nation as it is. There are guys, you have impact, okay, like you go for sellout.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you lose the nation that we have, no matter whatever struggle that we're in,
No matter how good you are,
let me tell you,
outside,
they
Doesn't
will even
matter.
tell you like our corruption index and all this, South Sudan is the. But at the end of the day, if you have a nation, Syrian, you can get a piece of land, you build your own house, you sleep there. There's nothing like your nation. You go build outside. Tomorrow they will tell you, man, we are changing the
The policy,
constitution
the
of our
land
country.
policy
Yeah.
and everything
If you're a foreigner, you come and build here, we're giving you 20 years and 10 years is done. You need to pack your thing and go.
Uh-huh.
But I'm telling you, if you do it in South Sudan, who will come and tell you that?
Nobody.
So there's nothing like your nation. No matter whatever we do or how we try to have that assumption of our nation should look like this and this, don't expect that Jesus Christ is going to descend from there and try to build this thing for us. It starts from you.
It's all us.
When
to
it
do
starts from you, today, like, you know, I have that one thing that I know. You know, I challenge myself based on what my colleagues are doing. And I don't take it like a competition. Today, Sijin, if you try to build a very kind of a nice house, I will be motivated positively.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
You
if
like the
Sijin-
house, yeah,
if
you
Sijin
can
can
do
do
it,
this in
I
South
can
Sudan,
also do it.
what is preventing
In a
you
good
from
way.
doing this? Exactly. But most of the things that we need to change, most of our youth, we're taking it like this.
We
It's a
have
kind
envy.
of
Too much envy and,
jealousy,
hatred and all
hatred, and all this. Like even this money, man, he was just given. He stole the money and all this. It doesn't matter. It's still all the resources. Build it in your country. Yeah, you can take it. But when you do it like that, like it's share. If Sijin can do it,
we all can do it, and
that's why they always
develop.
joke on Facebook. If he can did it, I can also do it.
I can did it.
Yes, you can also did it. So that's what happens. So take every kind of whatever your colleague is doing, take it as a challenge upon yourself.
Yeah, in a good way.
If
in a
you can do
way.
it, Sijin, I'm telling you, all the condition of Juba, you know, the condition you're in and I'm in. If you can manage to penetrate and you make it here, why not me?
Exactly.
What other advantage have God given you that you can penetrate and I cannot penetrate? If it's about our temperature, hot temperatures, we are all
The same
in.
thing.
If you try to go and chill on somewhere where there's cold, I can also do the same. If you want to have that kind of free space where you think and you put it into action, in that place you go to, I will wait for you. If you are done, you're done with your time, you go. I will also sit on the same chair. Try to think and make sure at least if you can do it there, why not me?
I like that.
So be challenged positively. Don't take it negatively.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, dear viewers, welcome to Sip and Chat once again. This has been a very interesting conversation with the chairman himself, Leegod Laat.
Yes.
The chairman of Brooklyn family, one of the best families in Juba, very diverse community of people who are doing great things in the country. So we've come to the end of our program, but before that, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Go to YouTube and you click the subscribe button and support Sip and Chat. And coming to the end of it, we have our visitor, our audience, one of the guys who's listening to us. And it's just right there. You can just come and say hi. And
Come say hi, bro.
You've been part of this. So
Part of this, yeah. Like I said before, you know, it's about...
You can come closer.
Yeah, let's leave the kind of the jealousy and all this. We try to, like I said,
it's good to have you here. I
subscribe to our
see you've
brother's
been keenly listening and you're one of us. So just say hi to our viewers and tell us your name. And we also appreciate the fact that you've been listening to us. That's great. So over to you, please.
Hello members, I'm by the name Buni Joel, doing art.
Wow.
At the same time I started development studies.
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah, though I started in Uganda, that's where I
And
pursued
you brought
my
the whole
education.
skill back home.
I brought the whole skill back home for my people. So
Interesting.
we need
Exactly.
to build our country.
Exactly.
And building our country, it starts with you yourself.
Exactly.
So if building is in you, then everything will be fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And next time we'll bring you here. We talk about your art and talk about what you'll be doing. By the way, we are at Baobab and there's art exhibition where our colleague is also participating. And I think next week we'll also talk to him about his art, his journey, and all the way from Uganda where he got the skills, but he said, no, let me take it back home. So we appreciate that.
Art is a talent to me.
Yeah.
Talent.
Though I studied other things, but art remains as a talent.
Okay.
So, as a talent, it will never move away from you.
It's something you like to do.
Yeah, it's something you like to do. However old you will be,
You keep doing it.
you will keep doing it.
Yeah, like if you see, when it comes to arts, these arts guys, they have a very important message that they send based on the art, the artistic design and all this kind of stuff. Most of the guys ignore, but arts speak a lot of...
It speaks louder than
Like for me,
words,
I
right?
concentrate more on the art. The message that I will get from an art is much more than what I will read on the newspapers and all this.
Exactly.
Because they normally say something you see, it will never move away from your mind.
Yeah.
Than
It's
something
visualized.
you have heard.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So thanks, guys, and keep in touch. Next week, we'll bring our brother on board to talk about his journey. He does art as hobby, something he likes, of course. But, South Sudan is a great place. We have talented people like himself and all of us. So we'll be sharing these stories here to motivate others outside there. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Pleasure. You guys enjoy.